Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell into play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain.
Welcome everyone to Nerd TV for another SRA Late Model Stock Tour Series race here, live from
Hold on,
the top.
I hit the wrong fucking button. Yeah, boy. And go. Oh no!
Welcome back.
No, it's got to do the fucking intro one. I got to rearrange his button box. Golly. I'm telling you, dude, I've been fighting these computer issues, man, and it's got me fucking stressed in my head.
Our audio is still loud. The one viewer in here right now is getting a show, so volume is loud.
Absolutely. Only the best. Only the best.
All the F words, all the F words. 3, 2. Take 3. Welcome back, everyone, to Nerd TV for another SRA Late Model Stock Tour race live from the Thompson Speedway. Sorry for the little hiccup there on the intro. It is all good in the hood over here. This is the Countdown to Green show presented by Icon Apparel Company. And look at that beautiful graphic. Brand new to the scene here for 2025. Loving that there. And Dustin, we're at Thompson, one of the more difficult tracks to pass at, especially on the short track scene. And, you know, we had 10 drivers last time. Now we got 8 this time. But nonetheless, we're going to have an excellent show here this evening. Jumping in just a couple minutes late. So we're going to go right to the qualifying here.
Obviously, because you could tell we had commentary issues, right?
It's okay. We're just going to brief everybody
Love it.
in qualifying about what's going to go on in tonight's race as we're going to watch some drivers here take their qualifying times. But I'm Jeremy Stanley, a.k.a. Jay Swift on the interwebs. And that guy over there who's not pressing the buttons is Dustin Loxton. What's up, man?
Oh, well, you can obviously see how tonight started. Right on, man. Jeez. Even when you think that you have everything planned, you can have a fat finger button slip and it just rinses and repeats and you go straight back to the intro all over again. So, yeah, it happens. Thompson, man, it's going to be a tough track. It really is for these drivers. You can already see Frank Griffith out there. He's already struggling. These cars were getting loose, Jeremy. This track it's one of those tracks. We always hand pick out tracks that we say are what we call driver's tracks. You either like them or you don't like them. And Thompson is definitely one of those driver's tracks, but it's a staple on the short track scene. It's one that's been around on the service for quite a long time. A lot of short track leagues run it, but it's a challenge.
There's so many options here too. I don't know if we can get a view of a car on track right now, or maybe we'll see it in the race for sure. But there is a light gray strip, and then a dark gray strip, and then a light gray strip. It's an apron on the bottom, but it's not completely flat. So you can dip the left side tires on there to help the car rotate, maybe make an aggressive pass attempt. And then you got the dark groove, which is going to be the preferred lane for most drivers. But then if you go up above that, there's actually extra grip up there, and you'll see a lot of drivers, if they're single file, will diamond the corner a little bit to get that straight shot off the exit, and it gives you a little bit extra speed. Getting to the corner about maybe 2 to 3 mile an hour quicker. So even though it's a little bit longer on the time frame in the corner, the straightaway is going to be much better. And we're going to ride on board here with one of the last cars, one of the Ford Mustangs out here, 57 AJ Rogers in the Apex Sim Racing car here. He's on lap number 2. We're going to see what this looks like. And right there, he's going to go 4 tires, Dustin, onto the light gray. Cannot get it down, though, and you're going to see he's going to pay it on exit. And that puts him at a 19.9 on the boards. That's still, he won, even on the second group.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to remember, if you remember 2 weeks ago, because the late model stock tour over here at SRA runs every other Thursday. So it's been 2 weeks since we have brought the race in action to you guys and you viewers out there. But AJ Rogers in that 57 was one of the early front runners last week, and it looks like he's trying to pick up right where he left off. Well, 2 weeks ago, but it looks like he's trying to pick up right where he left off there. But Billy Bigley Jr. posts a time just outside, Jeremy, 400ths off of the full time right now, and he is digging, my man.
At the line, complete second lap, 19.947, which, for qualifying, almost identical lap times for them, both in the 19-second bracket. So yeah, definitely digging there. And this car, I've recently joined a league myself in the late model stock tours, and you just have to be, it's not another car where you take it easy. Like, the tire wear is very minimal, and you just throw this thing deep in the corner, hard brake, hard corner. You could cook the right front a little bit, but once you get it cooled off, you're right back to where you were. So that's what makes this car so much fun, and hopefully we can get these numbers up. We talked about it a couple Thursdays ago, where we're going to try to double that number. I think the goal is 20, right, Dustin, before we get close to the end here. So I think we're still going to get there. But
and you know what? And I 100% agree. I know that they've been trying to recruit and everything else. Looking good. I know a number of drivers scheduling conflicts have kind of, hit ahead a couple times, but I think overall is going to be pretty good. Scotty Oliver takes the top spot, 19.87. He's still digging, Jeremy, but the talk in the garage area during pre-race was tires. A lot of the drivers that were talking were saying that they feel the driver that is going to win this race is the one that can preserve their tires the most, as this track is very tough when it comes to that tire game.
Yeah, the right front will definitely take a beating, and what that does for these cars is it just really tightens up the entrance and center and even on exit. So you have to keep that right front as cool as you can to preserve your long run, or you might wash up the track and your day is done. So that being said, though, it is race time. We're going to get our cameras off your screen here. And we're going to go over the starting lineup for tonight's 150-lap event at Thompson International Speedway. Scotty Oliver taking to P1, last week's winner, by the way. See if he can go 2 for 2 for the inaugural season for the SRA Late Model Stock Tour. Second place, AJ Rogers right to his outside. Row 2, Billy Bigley Jr. They're in the 28 and 3rd. Fourth place, Matt Nicholson. Fifth place in row 3 is Frank Griffith. Sixth place, Thomas McMullen. Row 4 is going to be Aaron Longworth in 7, Jason Steptoe in 8th, and Joshua Ingram lining up as one of the late entries here. 9 cars, almost matched last week's number. And Dustin, we have a graphic we want to show the stats of the guys that are currently watching on YouTube. I got 6 live, and we're also live on Twitch as well. The stats for the race: you get 1 set of tires to change, 100% fuel load, no fast repairs, green-white checkered attempts, and the lucky dog wave-arounds are in effect. And this is a fixed setup league. These cars are already identical. You put fixed setups in these things, and you're going to see a lot of cars just hopefully be door-to-door all night long here. Even though it's 9 cars, you can still have a ton of fun with a short field, as long as the talent's stacked, which they are here. Dustin, we're going to take 2 laps, and we're going to go green flag.
Yeah, and like you said, it's this reminds me of the way that some of the settings are, Jeremy. Way back in the day during the IROC series, where the setups and everything else were pretty much set on there. It was you're going out, it's driver versus track and driver versus driver, not driver versus the driver and the setup they have in their car. It's just driver versus driver and the driver versus the track. So they narrow it down. So if you're getting beat, you're either beating yourself because the track's beating you, or you're getting beat by another driver, not their ability to put a crap load of time into a setup and put in 300 laps around here in practice. It's just, it simplifies things. And what better way to do that, Jeremy, than on short tracks and the late model stock car? Because this car here, since they have revamped it and they brought the update to match that of the Cars Tour, is probably one of the funnest cars on the service to date.
And you talking about beating things up, that sounds like an abusive relationship between car and track. We're going to see how that treats these guys here. Pace car down, green flag, ready to fly. There it is. Second race of the inaugural season is underway. The 57, AJ Rogers, gets a slightly better start over the 18. Scotty Oliver, you got that grip in the third lane. You saw the 57 in qualifying. He did just this. Run this lane. It's going to take about 3 laps to get these tires up to temp. But the 118, Dustin, early advantage there with the cold tires, takes it P1.
Yeah, it takes it P1, and at the same time, the 28 of Billy Bigley Jr. got loose coming out of the corner. That's going to close up Matt Nicholson, but he was able to rebound, that being Billy Bigley Jr., to reclaim that third spot and hold it off. But man, already you got to let these tires get up to temp a little bit. I mean, we already talked about tires are going to be a high commodity tonight, but currently we got a battle for that 5th place position. That's going to be between Frank Griffith and Thomas McMullen. They're going toe-to-toe now, side by side as they go down the backstretch.
Still side by side, nose advantage for Frank Griffith there in the 54. He's going to slide this thing through 3 and 4. Gets the position while sliding it. Remember, he had some issues last week. He's looking to rebound tonight after that one solo spin that took out one other car. I forget the name off the top of my head, but needless to say, he's still putting a good strong fight on the 0-2. Thomas McMullen doing everything he can, but that third groove, Dustin, so strong.
Yeah, it's so strong. It's loose up there, but if you can maintain, you can see the run that Frank Griffith is getting off that corner there, and that's what's making it near impossible for the 0-2 of Thomas McMullen to complete that pass. And to answer your riddle that you just put out there, that was the 56 of Joshua Ingram 2 weeks ago that was involved in that. Actually, Frank Griffith's teammate, so teammate on teammate violence in the first race. Not really. It was non-intentional. It was just it was a product of a beat-up race car, that's for sure. But this battle here is still going, Jeremy, and it's looking like right now, Frank Griffith, now that the heat's getting in those tires, he's battling back, and he's going to hold that 5th spot away from Thomas McMullen.
Do we know if Frank Griffith and Thomas McMullen was a part of that conversation about tires? It did not look like it. Not only did they kill the right fronts, Dustin, they lost a lot of time to their competition right in front of them, 4th on ahead. So they're now single file. Thomas not giving up. He's still over the back bumper of that 54 machine. U.S. Army sponsored Ford Mustang. Single file. All cars right now in tonight's field. 2 cars really off pace. Jason Steptoe, Joshua Ingram. Joshua, cars not contact. Here we go. Right front damage. 0-2 to the infield. Do they throw the manual caution? Do we stay green? Caution is out. It is manually thrown by admin Frank Griffith. And there we go. First caution tonight.
Oh, man. And
presented by Everything I Flag. Yeah, lap 9.
Lap 9. There's the commentator's curse. Just went on board on the roof cam. With the 0-2. What is going on? Was that the 54?
Frank Griffith in the wall on the exit of turn 2.
We're going to go back
and a couple things to look at here, sir.
Yeah.
So there's the contact.
Yeah, this was after the contact, so we're going to do a little VHS rewind that only the nerds can do.
Love this rewind graphic. I've been asking for it.
You have.
Produces.
So Frank Griffith gets in the corner, and you can see his car already loose. That back end is already kicking. big time loose. He's already down half a groove, and Thomas McMullen has nowhere to go. And that's where he gets that right front damage and that spin. But we're going to have to see, Jeremy. We're going to have to follow Frank Griffith around here and see what happened that put him into the wall there. Oh, man. He just went off into the wall. Man, I wouldn't think that with that being rear end damage that it would have broke something.
Can we go to the Oakley cockpit camera? I want to see if that's something wrong with the steering, or if it just... I don't know. That was so odd. Like, I wouldn't have thought anything was broken in the car. Here's the cockpit camera.
So here he is.
Just doesn't turn, or
it just doesn't turn. Yeah, he's turning, but that car's not turning. So there had to have been some damage on that just from that back hit there that was unknown. Yeah, I mean But Jeremy, I mean they have been updating these models so much lately that, I mean nowadays, I mean with that new model that they do have. I mean, you can have optional damage, which technically it's optional damage, and it's called that for a reason because you have the option to repair it or not, but you can have enough of it to where when you hit the pits, they flat out tell you it can't be repaired, and they won't let you leave the pits. You're stuck. I mean, it's with the way that they've been updating stuff, I mean, it's possible that something underneath that car could have broke because, I mean, he was clearly turning, and he was under speed, so it's not like he was... going off into the corner just, full blast. He was slowed way down for pace, and that car just did not turn.
Thomas McMullen looks like he got a whole brand new front clip on that 0-2. Hopefully the right front's okay to drive. We'll find out here as we're a quarter of a lap away from resuming this race on lap 14 when the green flag does fly. 118, Scotty Oliver. 57, AJ Rogers makes up the front row once more. Green flag is out here. Back underway. Quick start to the front. Scotty Oliver takes it. 57 did not get a good start this time. Third place, Billy Bigley Jr. files in third. Everybody else single file for the most part. AJ looking to the bottom. Puts the nose there. 118 goes high. Protects the outside groove. Slides it. Saves it. Stays on track. Single file once more.
Yeah, that was the best pressure since the initial start of the race at the 57 of A.J. Rogers was putting on the 118 of Scotty Oliver. And, I mean, you've seen that high line. If you can get it to stick, you can get that run out, and that's what preserved that top spot for Scotty Oliver there. It's just you do not want to stay up there too long because you are going to lay down a lot of rubber. You're going to chew those tires up. So, but as it sits right now, Scotty Oliver out front with the 57 of A.J. Rogers now comfortably in second place. Billy Bigley Jr. Apparently you're Bigsby now. Billy Bigley Jr. A lot of alliteration with the B's. Still in third spot since his initial start, and he had that little bit of looseness, though. Car looks a lot more comfortable, and he's comfortable in that third, Jeremy. Closest battle that we got right now is going to be between the 10 of Matt Nicholson and the 42 of Aaron Longworth. And Nicholson got some blinking issues going on, which is making it super difficult for that 42, Jeremy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that we had Samsung's AI assistant in tonight's field, but here we are. And yeah, some blinking issues from the number 10, Matt Nicholson. Looks like momentarily it's settled down a little bit. Still a single file here. I'm going to give a quick shout out to one of our partners, long-standing partner with us. Hold on. 42 into the wall hard here. That very top of the track at Thompson, it flattens out. So it's very unforgiving on that nature. And you saw him drive up the track. He got into the marbles. It became ice. And that's going to slow down the car just a little bit. You see the damage. The right front completely exposed. No downforce assistance for the 42 now. Looks like the car is okay, Dustin. But I want to continue on. Icon Apparel Company. See him right now in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. And now the bottom of your screen. Top quality apparel to make you look stylish. Be you, be unique, be iconic. And you're going to look at all their product that they have to offer you at iconapparelcompany.com. And they make customized shirts, hats, custom embroidery. So if you got a team logo, team sponsors, you name it, they're gonna create it for you. And it's iconapparelcompany.com. Super Nerd at checkout. I do believe that code's still good for 25% off. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin, but
it is
great
still
product
good
and a great discount.
It is definitely still good. One of the best discounts that you can get, so be sure you do utilize it. So we were talking just before that, Jeremy, the 42. So he's off a good season opening run. The 42 of Aaron Longworth got third place, finished podium last week in that race. But right now, I mean, he's still got a lot of laps to go to try to make that up and just try to settle in. But it's not the start that he wanted to the second race of the season.
No, they're really not. But these two right here are just soaking up all the track time up at the front half of the field. And this field, Dustin, even though it's 9 cars, they have really spaced out. And that's just product of Thompson. Thompson is very difficult. You're seeing these cars, they're bouncing all over the place. They're slipping, they're sliding. There's a lot of rubber up in that third groove, which also happens to be one of the fast lanes. So you're consistently sweeping that corner. Oh, you got the blue car on your screen, Billy Bigley, getting into the wall. And I think that's probably the 5th time I've counted that car hitting the outside wall. Thomas Mullen right behind him, though. He's waiting for one more of those opportunities. He's going to pounce.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. He's been slowly reeling them in. And you were talking about the rubber buildup, Jeremy, on the top of the track. As part of the reason why when you see these cars get up high, like the 56 when he was trying to turn, or I mean like the 54, Frank Griffith, when he was trying to turn, the 42 of Aaron Longworth when he was trying to turn, they don't turn. You can see that buildup up there. And Aaron Longworth got in there because it's almost like driving on ice. You turn and it's just going to keep going up there. But right now, this like you said, the product of Thompson, the cars are spacing out. You can even see that Billy Bigley right now is spacing himself out away from Thomas McMullen. That was a battle that was shaping to heat up for P3, your final podium position. But right now, looks like it's starting to settle back down in with Longworth holding the 4th spot. The 10 of Matt Nicholson still holding that P5. That's the last top 5 position. But I tell you what, Jeremy, I've been keeping my eyes on the 10 of Nicholson and the 42 of Longworth, because every car is getting a little loose out of the corners, but these two have really been getting loose out of the corners, trying to get a handle on the car there a little bit. And I mean, literally every car has made contact with the outside wall coming off the corners. I mean, we've seen Scotty Oliver in the 118 do it when him and the 57 of AJ Rogers were really racing it there on that restart. Every car has, and again, that's also a product of this track and these cars. It's bound to happen.
And this track, I love these shots right here. Look how wide the track is, right? It looks like no problem. You got tons of space. No, that's not the case. When you're driving these corners, when you at corner exit, that wall is instantly right at your door. These guys have to tell themselves, hey, I can't take it like a normal track. I have to roll the center a little longer, wait for the throttle just to touch, dime in the corner, whatever I got to do to not wash up the track so quick and hit that outside wall. All that space on the inside's typically not used. All in that middle to upper portion. We're on the Oakley cockpit camera here. The race leader currently 118, Scotty Oliver. Got a 0.6 of a second lead over second place AJ Rogers at this time. Headed to lap 34, corner exit, turn 4. At the line, very smooth wheel for Mr. Scotty.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game, is being smooth. I mean, these things here, it does not take much if they start to get loose or if you put too much wheel into it or not enough. These cars are going to let you know. So having that smoothness on there, and you see little loose coming out of 4 there for Scotty Oliver. But again, that's something that we're used to. We'll go on board the Oakley visor cam here on the 57 of AJ Rogers and take a look at his wheel. See the difference there. Yeah, what wheel? I get a little bit of the software shading there, not liking it here at this track. And it's back. There you go. But turn 4 there, a little bit, not too bad. A little bit on the right there to try to save and correct that looseness. But, I mean, overall, pretty smooth on the wheel as well, Jeremy. But a little bit more loose there coming out of 2. So these drivers had their hands full tonight.
iRacing's shaders are in full effect.
They're full effect.
It went from, hey, look, there's detail to, hey, look, who turned off the lights inside my car? And, you know, I'm going to take this time. Okay, we got some time. I want to thank another one of our partners. This time on the league side, DC Designs. And actually, you know what? I race with this guy now on the Tuesday league. Did not realize it was him until the third race. And he approached me and said, "Are you these guys from Nerditude?" I said, "Yep, that's me." And so I put up 2 and 2 together. Dalton Creech Designs. I went over his stuff, talked with him. Very good, very professional looking stuff. And a little hard to find, so I have to poke the bear a little bit to get him more open. There's not an official website link to his Facebook page, but if you go on Google and search DC Designs, there's a ton of options. But the only way you're going to find him is the orange and gray logo you see on your screen. His colors are bright orange. Once you see that logo, you know you're at the right place. And he takes care of a lot of the short track stuff on the iRacing platform for any type of car design that you're looking for. He's got your back. So DC Designs, find him on Facebook today. It's a good little group there that he's got to make a car look really good.
Yeah, it does fantastic work. And, you know, Jeremy, you being a painter, you know, I've always given you, mad props when it comes to that, because I know that stuff is not easy to do. So anybody that takes the time to paint like that, I always give mad props. I'm also going to sit here and poke the bear a little bit, because we were supposed to get a new stylish logo form that he was supposed to send you, and we never got it. So, Mr. Creech, you're on the call, my friend.
I saw him pop in the session just to watch the race. He's got some prior commitments on Thursdays, or else he said he would 100% be here. But that's okay. We can forgive him. If he's got other things going on, that's cool with us. But maybe one day when you're free, join on in. But you see a pass here. This is not for a position. This is to put the 56 Joshua Ingram 1 lap down. That's going to be the third car to be in the 1 lap down category. Joshua Ingram joins Jason Steptoe. And, of course, Frank Griffith, who is still on pit road. And I think he is all but done in that 54. 2 cars active on that down. Everybody else on the lead lap. 57, Dustin. I'm watching him. He is closing in a little bit. He's down to 5/10. He separated about 7 or 8. He's back to 5, so this really long run starting to set in. 57, slightly better.
Yeah, which, was a change from 2 weeks ago. If anybody remembers USA's race, the long run is what bit the 57 of AJ Rogers pretty hard. And a later race caution as well. But, at that point in time, Scotty Oliver had already passed him on track on that. So it looked like he had taken some notes from 2 weeks ago, come back up, and is now attacking and approaching this race a little bit differently. Update on the 54 of Frank Griffith as well, Jeremy. Pre-race, there were some mechanical difficulties going on with Mr. Frank Griffith's wheel as far as connectivity and everything else. So I'm not saying that is what's caused his post-caution wall contact, but we can't rule it out either, because I know that was a big topic of discussion prior.
Yeah, I think I heard him talk about he's getting a new Fanatec podium wheelbase because there was some connectivity issues. And so that might be resolved here in 2 weeks if they can get it shipped out and he can get it installed. If that indeed was the person that was over here, and so that'd be kind of cool. 54, not have those problems and get back in this thing. But we're talking about the 57, closing down the 118. Oh, we're going to back all this up. Second caution on lap 49, presented by iRacing. iFlag, we have the Nerd TV replay ready for you. It's going to involve the number 10, it looks like. Matt Nicholson here, running in 4th place at the time. Gets really low off of turn 2, Dustin. Run to the flat. The car got very upset. And let's see what kind of contact, if anything, he makes. A lot of grip in these things when you turn the wheel. And that locks it down.
Locks it down, but that's why iRacing threw that caution. His rear wheels, we were above the yellow line. So race stewards in iRacing do throw that yellow for that. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I said, it doesn't take much in these cars, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I don't know if he had mechanical issues himself or whatnot, but that's going to not only cause the caution, the 10 is out of the race tonight. So it's going to bring the field down to 7 active drivers on track. As we're going to reset things for a moment, we're going to take our first picture-in-picture commercial break. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't just about speed, it's about style. At DC Designs, we turn your vision into reality, creating high performance, custom paint jobs that make you stand out on the track. From bold, aggressive designs to sleek, minimalist style, our designs bring passion, precision, and creativity to every project. Whether you're racing for fun or glory, your car deserves to look as fierce as it drives. Ready to dominate the track with a look that turns heads? DC Designs is your one-stop shop for custom iris paint schemes. Visit DC Designs on Facebook today and let us know what you want. DC Designs, design for champions.
And back to full screen here off of turn number 4. We're going to restart this race on lap 54. Green flag is out, 118. Scotty Oliver gets a good launch at the line, pulls right in front of the 57 before the line, which it looks like lane changes are in effect before the start-finish line here. A little loose there, a bunch of cars off of turn 2. Single file down the back straightaway to turn 3. 57 looking to keep up with the 118 a little closer this time around. Loose off of turn 4. Dustin heads into turn number 1. Nose to tail, top 4.
Yeah, top 4, all nose to tail. I tell you what, I was surprised and excited to see the run that the 28 of Billy Bigley got on that restart. Actually got his car halfway the length up on AJ Rogers there. But again, that high side, we talked about it. As long as you don't stay up there, you can get that good run coming off. And he was able to maintain and pull that back. Looked like the 28, speaking of that, got into the wall there a little bit, Jeremy, coming off corner exit. But he's under a lot of pressure right now from the 0-2 of Thomas McMullen, and that's nothing new. Those guys have been duking it out as much as the 57 of Rogers and the 118 of Oliver have.
Oh yeah, 28 smashed the wall last time, turn 2 exit, but so did a lot of other cars as far as the handling of these things. Just not there. The tires are still trying to get to their optimal temperatures. You can clearly see it here as we go off these beautiful shots where the cameras post up in turn 1 and turn 3. You can just see how aggressive this track is, all the bumps, all the looseness these drivers are going through. These are about 5 laps into this restart here. Still contact, the 28, double digits as far as scraping the outside wall. Not having a good start to this restart.
No, he scraped the wall. The 0-2 of McMullen got wicked loose, and then the 42 back there, you see him there, that black and green John Deere car of Aaron Longworth got loose and hit the turn exits coming off there. So, yeah, these cars here, and still looseness there from the 42.
Wild start here for these guys. Still trying to get these things underneath their seat. A little nicer turn 2 there. You got the 42 on the screen, one of the slower cars here. Aaron Longworth already 3 seconds back from the start of this thing, under 10 laps ago. So maybe some troubles there for the 42 as we head back to the top 3, top 4. You see them all underneath a blanket almost here, not separated from one another. Turn 3 and 4 really wide. The 28 Bigsby. I called him Bigsby just because you did. Bigley Jr.
That's
Thanks
my fault.
that.
Sorry, Billy.
Thanks, man. But yeah, much closer start. Oh, the leader into the wall hard that time, too.
Yeah, leader into the wall and Bigley into the wall as well. And that's not what Billy Bigley wants, because every time he does that, just brings that 0-2 of Thomas McMullen closer and closer. But the saving grace on that was McMullen even got loose out of the corner a little bit. So whatever he would have lost by hitting the wall. He gained back from McMullen getting loose. But Jeremy, like you said, I mean, these 4 drivers all under a blanket right now. Ooh, heavy contact by the 57. These guys are trying to knock that outside wall down. Guys, take my word for it, it's still there. It's not going nowhere.
I thought my 3-year-old son loved pancakes, but these guys out here love them more. They're flattening out these sides of the cars. Every single corner, someone's scraping the outside wall. Doesn't matter if it's turn 2, turn 4. What's that? 57 hitting the wall and really separated the race leader, Scotty Oliver, who's loose through turn 2. Keeps it going there and got about a 5-car length advantage over the 57. And Dustin, I'm going to take a quick moment here to thank another one of our partners while we got a chance. Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles, based out of New York. He's got over 1,000 comic books in his shop. He's got tons of action figures, collectible trading cards of all your favorite varieties, whether it be Pokemon, Digimon, Magic the Gathering, Lorcana, anything nerdy. Plus, he's got some NASCAR stuff in there for the NASCAR racing fans because he does support the guys here on iRacing. So, head yourself to DustyPete's.com after this race. Shop, find anything that you want, put it in your shopping cart, and whatever you do, use that Super Nerd checkout code. It's going to save you 15% on your purchase of $20 or more.
Yeah, and while you were talking about that, Jeremy, the race in action heated up. AJ Rogers got into the wall a little bit more there and slowed him up enough to allow the 28 of Billy Bigley Jr. to get by him. So, again, heating up quite a bit. That was a pass for P2, and he almost lost P3 at that point in time to the 0-2 of Thomas McMullen, but was able to battle back. But hard lick into the turn 2 wall there. And then you can see right there, battling with the 0-2. Almost made contact, but just got the 0-2 a little loose there. But big-time moves going on right now up here in the top 4.
How is Billy this fast after smashing the wall so hard multiple times? That is beyond me. But he's making it happen. And he's actually catching here and there the 118 of Scotty Oliver as the 57 AJ Rogers. That last major hit has probably upset that car too much. He has dropped back to a 2.5 seconds now behind the 2 guys in front of him at the moment, coming up to complete lap number 71. A couple laps away from the halfway mark in tonight's 150-lap event at Thompson International Speedway for the inaugural season of the SRA Late Model Stock Tour. And we're going to see what this long run entails here. If we do get another long run, we're setting so. But Dustin, look at this 28. He's coming quick.
He's coming. And I tell you what, I mean, I don't know, Jeremy. I don't run these cars enough to know the ins and outs. I mean, maybe that's the trick. Maybe you sit here and put a little bit of damage on that right side. Maybe it's a dampening there. Maybe it tightens it up a little bit more. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm going way back to our NASCAR Racing 2003 season years, way back to yesteryear when we used to do stuff like that to do it. But he's been coming on strong. A little bit of wall contact there as we're looking off the back end of Scotty Oliver in the 118, but you see that blue 28 of Billy Bigley Jr. is closing in ever so slightly.
Yeah, these cars don't have a great amount of tire wear. It's all about tire heat. That's the problem. So if you can run consistent, rotate the car just a touch with the rear end, which these late model stock tour cars, Dustin, are not easy to do so. These things are tight on average. If you can get it a little loosened up, you're going to preserve the heat, the temperature itself in the right front, not necessarily the tire wear. You can go 100 laps and be 70% on the tire. It's just heat, heat, heat. So if you heat a thing up, you can't turn. You cool it off, it turns. Oh, 118. Ooh. That is huge hit to the outside wall. It's going to allow
Here we go.
Billy.
Battle for the lead.
Yep, to the inside. Can't stick at this corner, which is hard to pass on the bottom here at Thompson. He's going to give it another try. But yeah, he's doing a great job at preserving that right front tire right now.
Yeah, he really is. And like I said, that hit there was almost costly for Scotty Oliver in that 118, but he was able to muscle back on that outside. like you said, it's so tough to pass to that inside there without having some type of assistance, whether that car on the top lane getting a little loose or maybe a little pushy towards that outside wall, maybe a little bit of a wall scrape. Otherwise, it is super tough on that inside, especially if those tires are heated, because they just, like you said, they do not want to turn at that point in time until they get a little bit of coolness in those tires. But Jeremy, yeah, 28, he's coming, my man.
2 different lines. Watch them. Just watch it. You're going to see the 118. He's going to stick above the dark groove there in the corners. The 28 is going to diamond it. He's going to cut down. So the 18 has to really sharpen up corner exit as to where the 28 can release the wheel just a little bit. Preserve that heat. He's spinning it in the center, but cools it off on exit. And this is probably how he's able to catch Scotty Oliver. Still maintains half a car length here, closing in. He's going to lift just a little bit, get it down there. 118 actually with a much better exit that time. This is kind of cool, running identical lap times, but 2 completely different lines.
Yeah, and like you said, Jeremy, I mean, it's a give and take. So the 28 of Bigley right now, in order to get it to diamond off like that, he's got to roll the throttle a little bit, maybe just drag the brakes slightly enough to get that front nose to bite to get that dive in. So he's, like you said, he's going to lose it in the center of the corner, but what he loses in the center of the corner, he gains on corner exit plus some. So it's, but what that's going to cause, though, is when it goes to try to pass, it's going to make passing even harder, because right now, Billy Bigley is relying on that open lane. If you go side by side, it's going to be a lot tougher to try to get that done, and that car may not stick as well as what it is when it's just a solo, follow the leader, bumper to bumper.
Yeah, 100% here. We're going to continue to main focus on these top 2. Everybody else pretty spaced out. The only true battle on the track is for the most important spot on the track, position number 1, 85 laps, or 84 laps in the books, just past a little bit of the halfway mark. Take a quick second to thank yet another partner for the Nerditudes. This time, Elite Performance Industries. Shorten that up. It's raceepi.com. There's the new logo for 2025. Some of the best setups on the market, and they got a plethora of cars and a really good group.
To include the cars on your screen.
Including the cars on your screen. That is correct. And we don't partner up with people with products we don't believe in, right? So I've ran these setups in multiple cars, and let me tell you, they're comfortable and fast. You don't have to be on edge to run some of the best lap times in your race session. So great group of people to go try out a setup from. RaceEPI.com is the place to go. Go pick yourself up a checker flag today.
Absolutely. And again, it's like you said, you don't have to sit here and be on edge, but I can tell you who is on edge at some of these drivers right now, because these cars, Jeremy, they still get loose. They are still driving it off that right rear, little looseness on corner exit, still getting some of the wall contact, a little bit of wall scrapage there, just ever so slightly by the 28, Billy Bigley Jr. there. So, I mean, they're still, they're on edge right now, Jeremy. They are trying to get everything out of these that they can, but while these guys are duking it out, AJ Rogers still in that 3rd position. A lot more breathing room right now, Jeremy. He's kind of on an island on his own. It's a good thing he's got breathing room, because he just got a little squirrely there coming off of turn 4. And then P4 right now, still Thomas McMullen in that 0-2. Lost a little space, a little time to the 57, but Jeremy, this is, again, a longer run that we're having right now. So these drivers are having to do tire maintaining as far as tire temps. They've been pushing it too hard, like you said. They got to back it off a little bit, let those tires cool down, and then come back at it again. So you're seeing a lot of varying strategies. And then Aaron Longworth still in that 5th position, Jeremy. Still got that right front damage that he got from that wall contact there where the car wouldn't turn, almost very similar to the 54 of Frank Griffith under that caution. But he's still holding that top 5, Jeremy. So as long as he can maintain, still going to put another good stat in the books for race 2 with 2 top 5 finishes.
Yeah, 100% there. And there's your top 5 recap of the guys that are I want to give a shout out to 6th place, too. He's the last person on the lead lap. That's the 56
Absolutely.
Joshua Ingram, which happens to be right in front of the race leaders, about to take the 1 lap down mark here in just a couple. But this guy, bad start to last race, which was the first race of the season. Had that wreck with Frank Griffith. He was a unfortunate victim of circumstance with the 54 getting loose.
I like this. I like this.
Look at that space. That's probably what you're referring to. The respected move there from the 56 to drop several car lengths below to give the space to the leaders.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. We've seen in racing services across spanning decades, even back to NR2, K3, the driver respect sometimes lacks in certain series and everything else, and that's one thing that I've always tried to push and point out is that driver respect, that driver camaraderie that they do, and that was respect there by the 56 of Ingram. Knowing the leaders were there, he went on the inside of the corner, knowing that they were running above that darker groove, gave them their preferred racing line, stayed low on corner exit, all the way at the line, gave them plenty of lanes there, slowed it up. You seen the backfire come out of the tailpipe. He was sitting here and giving it up, doing the same thing for the 57. That's respect. And that's what makes a league, is when you have drivers that respect all other drivers in that league. That's what some leagues are missing.
100% here, and back to the front. Billy is just throwing everything at the 118. He has been underneath him several laps now, corner entrance. But when they get to that exit, Scotty Oliver has it down. Billy on entrance, hits the nose. 18 just continues to try everything he can. He's hanging on literally by a thread here, hanging that rear end out every single corner exit. This time he cuts it a little short to try to not get the run for the 28 right behind him. Gets him a little separation, but there's just so little room for air here between these two when they're in the center of the corner. And this race, Dustin, is just, it's already good, but now it's getting real good.
Yeah, and you see the battle and the struggle that the 28 of Billy Bigley is having right now. He's had to modify his line a little bit. Because he has to stay on that inside there, but when he goes to try to make the pass, he loses a speed on exit, but he modified it going in that one, Jeremy, and he took it higher in the corner to get a better run off, and he was able to complete the pass. New race leader, 28 of Billy Bigley Jr. First time lead change since the drop of the green flag all the way back 101 laps ago.
First lead change of the night. The only two to lead a lap. The only two on your screen right now. Now Scotty needs to change his focus from being on the defensive mode to, hey, let's cool off that right front. Now I have the time. I can do this without the pressure. And maybe in 20 or 30 laps, you can get back at the 28. We'll see here as we come across a little bit more lap traffic. You got two cars in front of you, or on the screen, that are not for position. And so this is going to be the break period for the 118 to see if he can't get back to him.
Yeah, this is going to be the moment where the 118 of Scotty Oliver tries to cool those tires off. Conserve what you have, cool them off, stay within striking distance, and hope that the 28 of Bigley heats those tires up, so that way you can make another charge at it towards the end of the race when it's going to count, because it's great leading laps, Jeremy. Great for the sponsors, you get it out there, but there's only one lap that counts, and that's that very last lap, crossing the line to see that white and black flag flying with the checkers.
One we're looking for, and you'll be the first one to reach that point in the race. 105 laps in the books. We're going to take our last picture-in-picture. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't just about speed, it's about style. At DC Designs, we turn your vision into reality, creating high performance, custom paint jobs that make you stand out on the track. From bold, aggressive designs to sleek, minimalist styles, our designs bring passion, precision, and creativity to every project. Whether you're racing for fun or glory, your car deserves to look as fierce as it drives. Ready to dominate the track with a look that turns heads? DC Designs is your one-stop shop for custom iris and paint schemes. Visit DC Designs on Facebook today and let us know what you want. DC Designs, design for champions.
And back full screen here. Lap 114 is the current lap run. Watching the 28, Mr. Billy Bigley running down through the field. We saw the 118 Scott Oliver come down pit road right when we kicked it to commercial break, and we're talking about it off camera here. We don't know. From my races on Tuesday with the 100% fuel tank, you can go, I think, 150 laps. When a 118 gave up that race lead, he came down pit road and currently sitting one lap down himself. I feel like they can make it, but we might have a chance here, Dustin. We're going to see all these cars come down green flag pit stops for one time.
Yeah, and a lot of it, Jeremy, it may not be anything with fuel. Fuel may have been good. I mean, how many times have we seen races at short tracks like Bristol and stuff like that not come down, have anything to do with fuel, but they're coming down because of tires. Tires. You know, you come down, you get a set of tires on there that are all the way cooled off, that do not have 110 plus laps on them, and that could be what it is. But I have a feeling that if they can make it on fuel, somebody is going to gamble it. Somebody is going to try to take the distance and go all the way on the set of tires they have and the fuel they have, in hopes that the other drivers at pit, like Scotty Oliver, are not going to be able to get around them and then go all the way back around the track to pass them again for that position.
And we're going to see what tires can do. Look behind the 28. It's going to be none other than Mr. Scotty Oliver. And we're going to see how quick it takes him to pass this 28. I mean, if he's going to be 0.3 of a second faster, we still have 32 laps left in this event. I don't think it's going to be enough to cycle back around one full lap, but we'll see. We'll see what the difference is here. But yeah, maybe he just killed that right front enough to where he had to come down pit road. Probably looking at his tire wear and saying, no, there's no way I'm going to make it. So,
well, and
that being said, though,
there's only 2 drivers that are on the lead lap. Your race leader in second place of AJ Rogers, they're the only ones that either have not been lapped or have not come down to the service of their crew. So that's why I said, man, I have a feeling that if somebody's going to try it, somebody's going to try to gamble it in hopes that they could possibly try to steal a win away just on pit strategy alone and timing of their opponent's pit stops and pit side.
Yeah, and what's going to be perfect situation for Scotty is, let's say he passes Billy Bigley right now. What if he passes him, catches a yellow flag? Not only are you going to have 100 lap pressure tires, you're also going to be, 4 car lengths away from the race leader? So that would be a huge advantage to the 18, knowing he was probably like, you know what, I'm not going to win this race now. Let's take the pit stop, hopefully get a break after I get back to lead lap. But he's struggling still, trying to get around big.
Yeah, and he really is, and that's not what he wants to be doing. He wants to get around him right now and conserve those tires, because let's say that there is a caution. Let's say there's a late race caution, and the 28 of Bigley goes down. They only have one set of tires in the pits. All right, so if he comes down, then he's going to have fresher tires on, going against tires on the 118 of Scotty Oliver and tires, on the 57 of AJ Rogers. Rogers and Bigley would have the same amount of tires. So those would be your toughest competitions right now. So I feel in order for this to work, it's tough. 26 laps to go, Jeremy. That's a tough thing to do. Scotty Oliver just got back on the lead lap the hard way, but he still has to go all the way around the track in order to even get to second place, passing AJ Rogers, and then back to first place to battle it out once more with Billy Bigley Jr.
Just to run through the stat sheet, the past 5 laps. Oh, Billy, pit road. I was going to say he's a half a second slower every single lap compared to the 118. So is fuel a thing? I don't know why you would give up a 3-second lead if fuel wasn't a thing. So I would imagine it has to be a thing, right? 57 on your screen is going to be your third race leader tonight. It looks like he's coming down pit road, and yeah, fuel is definitely a thing here, Dustin.
Yeah, that's what it's appearing like. So might have been the best call there, because look at the time, and that's why picking your pit time is so crucial, because yeah, you're going to lose time there, but if no caution comes out, like what happened here, that means that the 118 of Scotty Oliver is making up a tremendous amount of time between his fresh tires and their slower tires, which means when they come in for a pit stop, their pit stop's time on pit road is going to be the same as what it was for Scotty Oliver, but he's going to be further out ahead now by the time they finally get out and get back going. And then they still have to warm their tires up, and they only have 22 laps to get those tires up to pressure, track down Scotty Oliver, and initiate and complete the pass to get that position.
And when we say tires, we mean 2. Everyone on the top half of the field took right sides only. Took just enough fuel, got just the right sides, and they're back at it now. Difference between the 28 and the 118, 4.5 seconds. That's how much time the 28 has lost in comparison to Scotty when they came down pit road. And the lap variance between the two, well, the 118 Scotty last came down on pit road on lap 107 compared to Billy's time at 127. So there's your difference in time frame. 20 laps to go. 4.5 seconds is the gap. 4.1 last time, actually. Let's see what it looks like here as they both get to the line. 3.9. So he's closing, Dustin. This might close up real tight when this race is over.
Yeah, and it very well could, Jeremy. But we've been calling races for a long time, and one of our common themes is catching a driver is one thing, passing him is something completely different. We've seen these two drivers battle it out quite a bit, though, and it took Billy Bigley quite a few laps. We're talking like 20, 30 laps to sit here and get by him. He doesn't have 20, 30 laps now. He's got a 3.7 second gap difference, 3.8, that he has to close up in 17 laps, and he has to get by him, all within 17 laps. Otherwise, it's all for nothing. And that 4.5 second gap that he had, that was all lost on the track from the 118 out there running faster lap times prior to Bigley's, coming down pit road. So again, it's a gamble. And these drivers have to do this day in and day out. Not only are they, wheeling these cars, through the corners, passing drivers, going fender to fender, they're also calculating stuff. They're also making the calls, when to come down pit road. If I come down now, what is the plus minus on this? This is all real life calculations going on in each and every one of these drivers' heads when they strap into their rigs.
Yeah, no, you know the game. You have the stats before you jump in the car. You got 100% fuel. You have 150 laps. You take your practice time. You get your average fuel usage per lap. And they can do the calculations before that green flag flies for the 150 lap event. So they know what they got. And then you can do all the prep work you want, right? But then some guy comes out here and exploits it and does something a little different, and it just throws your whole game plan for a loop to try to get yourself that checkered flag at the end of the day. Billy Bigley still faster. He's up, or down rather, to 3.1. He's already gained a second and a half back to Scotty, but with 13 laps left, this run will flatline at some point, and I think Scotty's got this one in the books.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from where he started, so at 12, it was 22-ish, so in about 10 laps, he's done 1.5 seconds dropped off of that. That means in another 10 laps, he's going to be within a second of him with only 2 laps to go, Jeremy. If I'm not saying that the 28 of Billy Bigley cannot do it, but man, if he can, it is going to be super, super close.
Gonna take a lot of work on his end, a lot of mistakes possibly on Scotty's end. You see them, they're both on your screen. They're both on the same straightaway. Difference at the line, 2.8 seconds. So strong effort by Billy, but time is the enemy. At this point, you got lap traffic coming up in front of Scotty here. Off of turn number 4, you got Thomas McMullen in the 0-2. He's the car to pass. Let's see if Thomas gives him a break. If he doesn't, this might choke up the run a little bit here, which the 0-2 does, and he is so loose every single corner. That car is falling off a hill compared to the start of this thing.
Yeah, and it really has. You know, and like you said, I mean, lap traffic is going to play a pivotal role in this. You see the 0-2 in McMullen, his line, his preferred driver line is the exact same line that the 118 also runs of Scotty Oliver. So is he going to move out of the way and yield to the leader? And I'm going to throw it out there. They don't necessarily have to. He's battling right now to stay on the lead lap. He can still race his line. That's still something that's there. Oh, wicked loose there is the, oh man, 0-2. And I think the 118 had to slow up a little bit as well to allow him to gather. That's going to help out the 28 of Billy Bigley.
At the line, we're going to see the time variance here from 2.4 to 2.2. So another 0.2 there, gained by the 28. And yeah, Scotty is faster, but Thomas is holding him up. And so 5 to go at the line here. You see step up, or step toe rather. He backs it down to the bottom of the track. 0-2 not being the friend of the 118. Still loose in front. Does not care. But it looks like the 118 is actually just taking this time to cool off that right front. I don't see him nearly as close to the outside wall directly on corner exit as what he has been prior to that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. He knows he has a little bit of breathing room right now, Jeremy, between himself and Bigley. He's got 1.3 seconds to 1.4 seconds with 4 laps to go. He could be cooling his tires off, knowing that Bigley is not letting up right now because Bigley knows that time is his greatest enemy. So he could be just taking it easy. You see the distance between him and the 0-2 spaced out a little bit more because he's trying to cool those tires off, that right front tire off, just in the chance that Bigley does catch him, that he has some in the tank in reserve to sit here and battle and maintain over the 28 of Bigley.
2 laps to go, 1.1 second is the gap. Not going to be enough on pure speed. Got turn 3 and 4 for the second to final time. White flag in the air for Scotty Oliver in the 118. Half a mile to go. Gets through turn 1 and 2. No problem there. Turn 3 and 4 is going to look the same. And for the opening 2 races in 2025 for the inaugural season of SRA Stock Car Tour, Scotty Oliver, P1, takes home both checkered flags. Job well done here, leading most laps and bringing home the gold here this evening.
What a drive, but I tell you what an effort from the 28 of Billy Bigley as well. And, oh, man, I tell you what, solid effort from that 28. Was trying everything he could. Is that 28 out of gas, Jeremy? It almost looks like he might be out of gas. He might have calculated that thing right man, that's close. I mean,
Yeah.
if you are that close and running out there,
Yeah, I was watching
that's
him on the back straightaway, and Dustin, he was, he was starving. That thing was choked. No
yeah.
fuel in the tank.
So calculations really, really, really close for the 28, but still was able to bring it home P2. And that's what we were talking about, folks. I mean, these drivers are making these calculations. I mean, yeah, they got tools to help them out, but they still got to make these split-second decisions in real time while driving these things. And these things can be a handful. I mean, we've seen that, clearly have seen that. So what a showing by the 28, and what a showing by this guy and everybody tonight. I mean, you know, the incidents that we did see, Jeremy, I mean, they were product of the track. I mean, this is a tougher track, probably one of the tougher ones to run.
That's intentional.
Oh man, okay, that was a hard hit. They don't know our rules yet, so
I have to take back a second on my end and review this as we're going to go over the unofficial results here for the second race of the season.
For those of you that don't know, that haven't watched a Nerd TV broadcast, anytime somebody's doing a victory celebration, if they tag that wall, we call them out in post-race.
We'll poke the bear and see what happens there and see if it was intentional or not, but Scotty Oliver, P1 once more. Billy Bigley Jr., second place. AJ Rogers, final person on podium. Fourth will be Thomas McMullen. Fifth, Aaron Longworth. Sixth place, Joshua Ingram. Seventh, Jason Steptoe. Matt Nicholson takes it home in eighth. And Frank Griffith. Back-to-back weeks of disappointment. Going to round out the field in ninth place here this evening. We're going to go full screen commercial. We're going to gather up these top three if we can, and we will be right back.
Racing isn't just about speed, it's about style. At DC Designs, we turn your vision into reality, creating high performance, custom paint jobs that make you stand out on the track. From bold, aggressive designs to sleek, minimalist style, our designs bring passion, precision, and creativity to every project. Whether you're racing for fun or glory, your car deserves to look as fierce as it drives. Ready to dominate the track with a look that turns heads? DC Designs is your one-stop shop for custom iris and paint schemes. Visit DC Designs on Facebook today and let us know what you want. DC Designs, design for champions.
And welcome back here for the Icon Apparel Group Company. I always say group, but it's company. Post-race show, also presented by Victory Fuel as well. And we got our top three, it looks like, gathered up here. And the channels, we're going to rotate third place first. And then it's going to be the number 57, AJ Rogers. AJ, good run there. Job well done on P3.
Yeah, it was all right. I had a little issue with my brake pedal. It was way too sensitive, so I couldn't run kind of the way I wanted to, but I did all right. Good league starting out. I know a little low car count, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there for sure, man. I was kind of curious because that first run before the caution, you seemed pretty good. Like you're maintaining, you're catching Scotty at one point, and then after that caution, you tagged the wall a couple times. And I thought something maybe went wrong in the car, but you're saying it was the brake pedal.
Yeah, these load cell pedals, I don't know. I've been having some issues with them, but seems like I got it fixed now for some reason. I went back into the firmware, but I don't know. It's kind of hard when you need to use a little bit of brake there, and I couldn't really use any brake, and I really didn't save tires like I should have, and just fell off. I wasn't comfortable, with the car not being right, and I couldn't rely on my brake pedal like I want to. So that kind of messes you up mentally too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. These cars take enough mental challenge because you got to throw it in the corner full attack every single lap, and if you're thinking about something else other than what you're running, yeah, I can definitely see why that would be a problem here tonight. But yeah, let's say though, yeah, the car count will get up there, but good job on your part for doing what you can with the settings you had going on. But
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, and appreciate you broadcasting it for us. You don't mind me do a little shout out to Frank for all the hard work, and Bobby too. I know they did a lot of hard work in this, and I think it'll grow. Just got to get some people in and see what's going on, and I think we can get a full field. We'll get there.
yeah, absolutely, man. Well, good job, P3 on the Virginia Transformer Court Mustang there, and yeah, we'll catch you in 2 weeks.
All right, sounds good, buddy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That was AJ Rogers, P3 here tonight, second place. Now we're going to focus in on the number 28. It's going to be Billy Bigley Jr. Billy, congrats on P2.
It's Corey, not Billy. The one in the Discord is Corey Bigley.
Okay. All right, 10-4. I see it on the podium here. So I got the right person, all right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I'll have Frank change it because, like I said, I'm not gonna run that much this year because I will be out of town sometimes too.
All right, 10. Well, that'll save us on the tongue twister. So.
Oh, we were getting so tongue tied.
Yeah, that's my dad's name, but they have it under my dad's. Yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty good in these cars. I was like, early on, I was letting these guys go and just run hard because I know these cars with the fixed setups, they get real tight late. And then as you see me, I kind of turned the wick up and ran by these guys.
You had a really strong car there. Did you plan on pitting so late, or you just kind of did the opposite of what Scotty did? Because you were running him down, you passed him, you had it, and then that pit stop sequence is what did you in?
No, I was planning on pitting late. I just wish if we had a little more cars and I had a yellow, and he could have been in trouble.
Okay, yeah. So game plan was then on point there from the get go. It's just things didn't fall that way. The car was strong, really good stuff.
I ran out of gas.
You did. You're down to just second on that final lap. You made up 3.5 tenths, and then you sputtered on the back straightaway, man. Were you calculating how close that thing was going to be?
No, the fuel thing did, and it didn't help. I was going to put an extra gallon in it, and that would have been perfect.
Well, you had 3 seconds of gap between you and AJ, so it still brought you home P2 tonight. Good run, man. Good, strong stuff. Any shout outs you want to give out?
Yeah, I know it's my first time running here, but I have our team, Velocity Motorsports. That's our team, and I usually run. I don't run late model stock league, but I do with them. It was fixed setup when we only run like 125 laps, one set tires, and it's pretty fun. We usually run Thursdays like he's running, but Josh he runs it, but it's been this thing because I'm pretty good in these cars and the trucks, but I'm pretty happy for first time out with these things, and I only had like 10 laps here in practice, but I'm pretty good at this racetrack, like I said. But just all the guys that I have that help.
Very good, man. Well, Corey,
and then you guys for putting this on, I know, and then Frank for putting it on.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get this car count. I'm gonna say we're gonna get the 20. Like, I hope that's gonna be the number because I'm enjoying it so far, and I know you guys are really hopeful for SRA to take off. But Yeah, congratulations on P2 getting there, Corey, and we'll catch you next time we see you. I know you said it's gonna be a part-time schedule, so we'll just
Yeah, I just have to see because, like I said, we go way out of town. We're going to Georgia next week, and then we're leaving Thursday night, and then we go to Up Alabama. I think we're leaving maybe Wednesday night because I
Okay.
race in real life. We do.
Very cool, man. Well, whatever your schedule looks like, hopefully you pick up some decent finishes along the road and drive safe out there traveling to each track.
All right, Yankee. Thank you. Yeah, it's my brother. Will be traveling a lot more than with me.
All right, 10 4. All
All right, see ya.
right. That was correction to Corey Bigley, as we have the father's name currently on the podium. Billboard. We'll get that corrected for the next time we see the 28 on track. But Dustin, time to load up the Victory Scene presented by Victory Fuel here, as we got back-to-back winner 118 Scotty Oliver back at it in the Badass Barbecue. What's up, man?
Oh, not much, man. Just hanging out and running some laps tonight.
He said just hanging out, just picking up more checkered flags. Another one on the bookshelf.
Just doing a thing.
Just doing the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. That one kind of fell into me. I pushed a little hard there early and should have saved a little bit more. And then once Billy got to me there, I noticed he was fast, or he was a little bit faster, but I let him by there, and I was like, I'm gonna short pit, and maybe I can pit and come out right behind him and get a lap back and see what happens. And it kind of played into my favor and lucked out on one there.
Yeah, the first half of the race looked like maybe AJ had something for you on the really, really long run. Caution comes out, and then AJ had some pedal issues, so that took him out. But then Corey there just stepped it up, ran you down, passed you, and then you pits right after that. Was that kind of your mindset of, hey, whenever I get past, I'm making my way down pit road?
Well, I was thinking back from last week, if the caution had to come out, I kind of would have been in trouble because everybody short pitted me. So once he got to me, I was like, I raced him for a little bit, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let him by because I didn't want to just shoot at a pit road right in front of him, So I let him by, rode a few laps, and I was like, man, I'm gonna try and pit here, and maybe since I'm not gonna have to take as much fuel as he's gonna have to because I'm pitting shorter, maybe I can fall out right back behind him and then and run him down and get my lap back that way. And then when he pits, I should cycle back into the lead. And like I said, it worked out for me.
Oh, absolutely. It sure did, man.
The last like 10 laps, he was coming. He actually didn't put enough fuel in the car and he ran out. I was just trying to hold on to it there from where I had pushed so hard earlier. I had killed my left rear and I just had like no drive whatsoever. So I was just holding on.
I just assumed you were stuck behind the 0-2 of Thomas McMullen and just kind of riding it easy because you had that gap there. But
well,
yeah,
I mean that too. I didn't want to push and try and pass him and use up what left rears I had left. If Bigley had gotten to me, I wanted to have something to be able to race. So I was just riding there too, but I was holding on at the same time.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, man. Well, congrats on the victory here. 2 for 2 to start off the inaugural season for the SRA Late Model Stock Tour. And any shout outs you want to give out tonight?
First and foremost, I need to thank my wife and my little girl for allowing me to do this. I need to thank Top Tier Custom Design and Apparel. Billy's a Badass Barbecue. Let me see here, the SRA series. I need to thank you guys for putting on an awesome a broadcast, and see y'all again in a few weeks.
Hey, man. Sounds good. Have a good rest of your night. We'll catch you in 2 weeks.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Oh, Scotty Oliver picking up a second checkered flag of the season there, Dustin, and 2 down in the books. Very good stuff up at the front. Very, very competitive. Even though the field wasn't all together, and I enjoyed almost 150 laps solid of just battling for the race lead.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a lot of good battles, and I mean, it wasn't even just for the race lead. I mean, as the race went on, typical Thompson, it got stretched out, and I mean, that's any track that's like that. But I mean, we had good battles for the lead. We had good battles for third place. I mean, there was good battles for fifth place. I mean, it was solid competition all the way around. And I mean, you heard it from the drivers. I mean, that's the only thing that they're working on getting is more car count. Get more of those battles out there, more of that short track Saturday night racing action feel. I mean, they've got the core, they've got the build here for it. I mean, they put on amazing racing. I mean, we've seen that battle for the lead. Yeah, it took Bigley, what was it, like 30 laps to sit here and finally get by Oliver. I mean, it was like a job out there. I mean, they were working it. So I mean, it was overall. I mean, it was a great race at a track that can be very tough for drivers. Definitely a driver's choice track.
Yeah, 100% there. And next week's gonna be a little bit easier, but still a tough track overall. Myrtle Beach Speedway you'll have in 2 weeks, February 6th, same time as you caught tonight's race. 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. We go live for y'all to cover 150 laps there. And again, we're going to close this thing out. My name's Jeremy. Dustin to my right, pressing the buttons, and co-commentator here.
And apparently a little too many, because I sat here and turned the commentator feed off and then back on. I got to end the show the way I started the show. I got to fat finger stuff all the time. I mean, it happens.
It's called uniqueness, sir.
That's right. That's right.
No one else does fat fingering like you do. So, with that being said, we're going to close this thing down. Thank you guys for joining in. I saw 5 or 6 there on the YouTube side. And, let your friends know. Hey, join in and watch us. Chat away. I got 0 chats tonight on YouTube, but that's okay. Next week, we can get a couple in there. So, tune in 2 weeks. Until then, you guys stay safe. Get your nerd on. And we'll see you then.